back to the Unleashing. I'm your host, Jared Bueller. I've been trying to make a video all day, but every time I get to the camera, I end up not just quite ready to do it yet. Now it's late at night, and I'm going to try and get this out tonight. If not, I'll put it out first thing in the morning, but I feel that I needed to, especially because this is the exact window that I've been waiting for ever since Feast of Trumpets, back in 11th and 12th or whatever of September. As soon as I was told that Feast of Trumpets was for the second coming, I started working things into calculations, and this was the time frame from November 3rd, around this week, that I was, if things were going to pop the way that at least we could see them for right now with numbers leading up to Passover 2022, this would be the time that I was expecting. And even if it doesn't and it happens later, it totally can still happen. It's just I won't quite have an understanding from it. It would be one of those things where we only look at it from the future, looking back and go, oh yeah, it makes perfect sense now. But this week is, it's interesting. They were going to have that peace plan, the Trump one, supposedly in December or something like that. Now it's been forced to come in, and after the midterms, which are going to be tomorrow, they're bringing it out this Friday. And we don't know what that's going to be. Could it be the covenant with many? There's a lot of stuff that's prepped, and it's right on the line right now, from the caravan that's coming from southern part of the United States to all the stuff we've heard about from Canada, Chinese and Russians and stuff like that probing from up there. The war prep on the front with the navies of the world, Russia and China. This thing's ready to take off. Meanwhile, Yellowstone has been put on high alert, and it's ready to go. And it's just making America look more and more like Mystery Babylon. And it goes fast. In 1 hour, the whole thing gets destroyed, People that would be in a left-behind situation literally might only have moments to see the fire coming at them and be like, God, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, and I choose to follow you. Please save me, before they get taken out and die and end up going to heaven that way, But the way things are, it's so ramped up and ready to go. This coming weekend is November 11th, Veterans Day, but it's also the 100-year anniversary of World War I, and it's also the same day that I was looking for the economic collapse that they might start it around that time. And it just happens to be the same day, and the economic guys that were talking about it, looking at the magazine with the Phoenix Rising. They had either picked it for September, October 10th, or November 11th. And November 11th is the one I was going for because it fit more in this timeline that I'm looking at, this time frame, where it lines up with the length of the tribulation. Now, even with November 3rd lining up with the Passover, if it were to start sometime this week, that would just push the abomination of desolation slightly past Passover 2022, would put it somewhere in the week following the opening of it, or not the opening, but the start of Passover, which is totally still a possibility. We don't know the layers and where they break off. The two witnesses might not even go to the middle. They might go slightly past the middle for their link, because they might start slightly after we go. It might be the same time they come down that we go up. We just don't know. Like you say, we might only realize it in hindsight, but this is definitely the time we're looking for, and everything is on the table and nothing's slowed down. It's only amped up anymore. At this pace that we're going, I don't see us making it a whole year to the next time around, and I believe a world war on this scale is the one that fulfills prophecy, being the second seal. I don't see another one that would be this big, that could happen that fast, especially within the timeline of the things we know, like the Pope's age, who's alive by the time the tribulation's over, from the Malachi prophecy, and from Revelation 17. We know that he gets tossed with the Antichrist in the lake of fire alive. There's a number of barriers that we can't pass here. They're locking us all within a timeline, either now or next year at the latest, but it looks like it's this year still, and you guys know that that's what I've been pushing for and what I think it is. So we've kind of speculated everything from that point of view. If it is this year, this would be the timelines that we're looking at when things might be taking place, at least from the numbers that we know, if it's given to us straightforward like that. And I mean, so far, it's just exactly what it looks like. It looks like it's ramping up. We don't know what's going to happen with all the election stuff tomorrow. It could cause some more rioting and trouble, or it might not. And but that peace plan or whatever, even if it's not the covenant with many, it's moving that direction, and it has been. I mean, it's what's going on right now, and it's more science in times. You know, all the different things that have come to pass, and where we're at, and it's all ready to go up like a powder keg. You know. Not to mention the whole thing with them shutting down space. We don't know what they're hiding. If it's the UFOs and stuff like that, I know there's been a huge uptick for the past few months. More and more sites of them and people seeing them, and they're coming out more and stuff like that. And I just really think that this is going to flow right into what the whole rapture cover-up's going to be, that it was aliens that took people and stuff like that. When we know that won't be it. It'll just be the cover for it. But, I mean, it's picking up on that front too, as well as the persecution of Christians. Like I say, every time I see stuff like that, it's just more sign that the forces of evil know that it's getting close. And anytime you're talking about Jesus, it might give somebody hope, or let them know, you know what, yeah, I've slipped away for a long time. This makes good sense. I want to turn back. It can't stand it. It wants to grab as many people as possible. So it finds its people they can inhabit. And a lot of time that's religious phonies. And they'll come in, especially on YouTube, and they'll start persecuting and stuff like that, just off the charts, talking about how they love God. And while we're talking about the joy of the Lord and how it'll be great to be with Him, they're absolutely just foaming at the mouth, you know, with hate for the whole idea. And it's like, you love God. If you did, it would show in your fruits, you know, it would be evident. We're not saved by our works, but the things that come out of us, you know, our character shows of where we are in this. And you don't have to be a pre-tribulation believer. You just have to be somebody that, you know, God's first 100%. If he comes in pre-tribulation, I'm totally happy with that, you know, because I want to get out of here. And your heart's in the right place. I believe that you're somebody who's ready to go. But when people aren't in that situation, where they're post-trib or whatever else, what they do is they push it off. They don't want it to happen because they know that they can still sin some more, and then they'll clean it up once they see the tribulation break loose. And that's that danger zone. That's it's like the 5 foolish virgins. It's how you can get left behind. Like I say, in my rapture vision, I did not see huge numbers going up. It was small, 8 people. Just from the viewpoint that I had for the moments that I had it, it was not a bunch of people going up. It wasn't massive. And, you know, I was curious about it ever since. But like I say, as time has gone on and I've talked to more people and the YouTube channel getting started and the more people write in, I mean, these people all consider themselves Christians. And I'm telling you right now, I've literally seen comments with Nazis talking about, yeah, these are exact words. Yeah, Hitler was right about the Jews. They're absolute filth. We need to kill every single one of them. So us pure whites, being white, we're the actual Jews that God's talking about. Yes, absolutely, brother. God bless. I'll see you in heaven. No, you won't. And yet, on a ballot of some sort, this person would say, yes, I'm a Christian. So these numbers that we have of Christians, Roman Catholics, and stuff like that, when the numbers start to break down of those that are actually walking with God and showing their fruits of, you know, who they are and that they're saved, the numbers are small. The numbers are really small, and this is what the tribulation for. It's a gigantic adult spanking, and it's brutal to shape you up to realize this world and the whole thing has been nothing but a test, and you have been failing it. Your first priority is to have Jesus Christ as your first love, and that's what it'll test, you know. And it'll be the ultimate test, because when people are facing death, they have no idea. They might talk a big game now, but I can't tell you how terrified they will be. And the only way to pass that is divinely. You will have to pray for the strength from God to give you the courage to withstand, to be able to stand up to it when they're drawing the blade towards your head, you know, because you will be terrified. And the whole point of why we talk about this is, and warn is, as watchmen, so you don't have to go through that. You know, we're given an opportunity to get out of here, and why would you not want to take it? You know, for a little bit more sin or joys of the world, it's absolutely not worth it. And as close as things are getting right now, there's not any time left. I see it building up. There is a worldwide feeling that is taking place right now. and I feel it, and there's other people out there that notice it, that everybody from every culture knows that this thing's coming to a climax, and it's coming extremely fast. We can see the buildup. Even the earth itself, it moans and it groans for the day, for Jesus to come back. Every atom craves. It's the maker. It wants to be with him. And we see this in volcanoes and the earthquakes and all the things that we were told that would happen towards the end. And the uptick has just been, it's just been off the charts, where we would have 80 volcanoes worldwide going off, like I believe it was last year, for every year, as the max. We'd have 80 going off in a day or in a few hours. It's just crazy. It's just totally picked up, along with the earthquakes and everything else, and everything is just screaming that this is the time of the end. It's at hand, and it's coming, and it's getting closer. Israel, at the same time, coincidentally, has reached its 70-year generation. It's been around now for a long time. We have the player that would spoken about in Malachi prophecy, that would be the 112th Pope, and here he is. What do you know? Coincidentally, at this time, there was no idea from 1100s how long each Pope would live and how long they would go. I mean, what if they all lived 10, 15 years apiece and not shorter than that? That would push this maybe like the 101 Pope or whatever. But no, it just perfectly timed out at this time that the 112th Pope was spoken of, that would be the end of the Vatican and Rome would burn. And we know this to be the false prophet, okay? This is exactly what the Roman Catholic Church was designed to do. Peter was never in Rome. I've discussed this many times. They found his grave in Israel at the end of John, when Jesus tells him how he would die. He tells him he'd die from an old man, not in those words, but he says his arms would be stretched out and he'd be led wherever he goes as an old man. And to make the point that no, he never went up to Rome. This is why Paul says Peter was never with me in Rome. This is the false religion, okay? And it stemmed into all kinds of different things. And in Revelation 17, it talks about the 8 kings, and the 8th one would be the false prophet. And what do you know? From 1929, when the Vatican it was given its own province, its own area, the popes were given kingship because they were the head of that area. And from 1929 up, here we have the eighth king. And the point is he doesn't die of old age. In Revelation 19, Jesus comes back, we come with him, and he grabs the Antichrist and the false prophet, and they don't go to any judgment. They get tossed right into the lake of fire alive. And that's exactly what it says. And so he hasn't died of old age. And when we calculate this in, him being 81 or whatever right now, and the usual age that popes die of old age, things need to start happening fast. They need to start happening really fast. And more and more, that's exactly what it's looking like, that this is all right where it needs to be in every single way, not only in the war front, not only with the dark side's agenda and how they like to plan things around their time, like this being the 100th anniversary of World War I, and how they planned World War I, II, and III. And this is probably all part of their plan right now as well. And, and it's about to take off. Everything's right in the order. There's distractions every single place that need to be not paying attention. YouTube channels are getting shut down to talk about God and stuff like that, the bigger they are, and it's all signs. Evil is just like frothing at the mouth to try and stop this, because everything that we're doing right now is to help save the lost and leave messages for them and help change it from the way, because there's this time coming and nobody can stop it. It's already set in stone that this would happen, all right? And it's on a 7,000-year time plan, 6,000 years of this age, and then 1,000-year reign after we come back, before God recreates the whole thing new, and we're going to be with him. But this time it's coming up, and we don't know how long Adam was in the garden before Adam and Eve sinned and all this other stuff. So there's numbers in there that we don't know. We can only speculate. And but God knows it down to the second, and he's picking it, and he's got it time planned perfectly on when he's going to start this thing, when he's going to allow it to happen, and it's going to be fulfilled perfectly. So yeah, I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to talk about on this video, but I know that I need to talk about something, especially this is the week that I'm looking for, and I definitely am. I mean, I'm really paying attention to it, but waiting for the weather to break a little bit. I'm going to go up and visit my aunt and uncle in Sandpoint this last part of the week. It's supposed to be sunny up there and nice, and be hanging out with them and talking to them for a little bit. It's nice to go up there and visit and stuff, and I'm glad the weather will be nice. And that's exactly how it was in my vision too. The weather was sunny and nice. There's a few clouds, but it's been raining, and I've been looking at this week, and of course you guys know I think about that vision. So much of it has come to pass, and then boom, from Wednesday on, it gets sunny and nice, and you guys have to realize I can't help but notice that too. It's like, is this the time? I mean, it'll take me right up to the edge. It's like, do I know? I don't know, because nobody knows the exact day or the hour, but all I can do is pay attention to signs, and I try to keep every single one, right there where I can think about it and see it, and they're all exactly where they need to be right now. I mean, for the most part, every single thing is there. I don't see this taking off much longer. Could it? Of course. But that's still exciting news, because we're so close, we literally can feel it. It's at the breaking point. And when it does happen, this is going to kick over into the tribulation, and we know that we're not going to be a part of that. We're going to be out of here. So that's exciting, because it's our blessed hope we're getting out of here, But I can only take this one day at a time. And that's all I've done. Just look at it one day at a time, punch numbers, look at things, and try not to throw anything out in this huge balancing act of when it is. Only discover there's more layers and more layers, time frames of things. Things could have absolutely started on October 3rd when we don't know. And, but the seals haven't broke yet. They're their own layer. We're with Jesus when that happens. So, it's hard to say. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe it starts at 1260 and 1290 goes... the two witnesses are actually there for a while after the Antichrist is in Israel, and it's just hard to say. We don't know, but like I say, I've looked at this from just face forward value on how long they would be there, how long they would be in Israel, and when I would think that they might start around the first part of the tribulation when it starts, and calculated this into a time frame that fits, and would line up for the end of the tribulation to be around the fall feasts. Here's another thing. I've ended it around Feast of Trumpets, but does that not count in Feast of Atonement? Maybe it does. Maybe the end is Feast of Atonement. Maybe it's Tabernacles. That would push the starting date past the 3rd, maybe a couple weeks, and in November further. It would also push the middle of the tribulation, or when the abomination of desolation happens, a little bit past Passover, which is totally possible. The temple might be built, but if that calf is not old enough in time, then they would have to wait to get the ashes and stuff before they could do before they could commemorate and do everything like that. So it literally could be built, and then around the same time we're looking at 2022, it would be the time for it to be open, and it could be open for like a week or two before maybe the Antichrist does the abomination of a desolation. I mean, it's hard to say, and I don't know. We'll know when we go back, but we know when we look back, the numbers will match up perfectly. We're only taking a look at this, and I know that I am, on when this would go, when this might stop or end, but it's totally a possibility that the time counted goes all the way up to Tabernacles or Feast of Atonement. Like I say, now would push the starting date that we're looking at around November 3rd, boom, past it. And that's exactly what it's looking like right now, because it's past that time right now. Yet, within the same week that we're looking at, they decided to bring out the peace deal early, and now they're forcing it that they want to get it done, and supposedly it's coming to the table on Friday, and it just happens to be the same Friday leading up to the 1 year commemoration anniversary of World War I, possibly when World War III starts, and also the time that we've been looking at for the possibility of the economic collapse. And some people have taken this serious. I watched one of the economic guys, they're selling some stuff, but they're like, if the economy doesn't go down this year before Christmas or before the end of the year, you'll get a total refund on all the products. So it's like, I mean, these guys are taking it pretty serious. And like I say, when I see that stuff, when I see the amping up, it's just building, it's just waiting to get out of here. And then when it does, peace will be left the earth, and so will God's hand. Then this thing's just going to take off like a powder keg, and it's going to be unbelievable death. Like I say, more and more warning to get right, turn to God. And I mean, we're still watching, but I truly feel that we're in the last hour right now. We might not even have another week. It could be this, or maybe we do, or maybe we have another year. As all I know is it's getting close. As all I know is that I can feel it getting close. As all I know is I can feel others feeling that it's getting close, and we all feel like we're right there. Meanwhile, visions just nonstop. More dreams, more visions. To get right, repent, watch out, bombs are coming, everything else. More warning signs. Everybody's getting them. Christians everywhere, all over the world, even people that aren't, that may have turned away from God, they're getting signs, to turn back, because God's looking at the hearts of people, all right? God knows the hearts, wherever they are, whatever situation that they're in, and you can turn to him at any time. Maybe you slipped away, maybe you were raised in other religions. You can always start a clean slate and tell Jesus, I renounce all that stuff. I want to start completely clean with you. I know you're real. I have a Bible that I can read, and I choose to follow you. Please forgive me my sins, and let's make this right. I don't want to be here when this happens. I want to go with you. And you can totally make that commitment today, and boom, you'll be taken out of here. Like I say, he knows the heart, and he also knows the heart of those that say that they're saved, but are right now persecuting Christians, don't want anything to do with it. And the last thing you want is a rapture. And the whole reason they watch videos like this is because they're afraid that it's about to happen, and they feel like if they can attack it enough, that it'll stop the whole thing from happening. Like somehow they have control or we have control over it. It's God's timing. When it happens, it happens. So all we can do as watchmen is warn and pay attention and try to help as many people along the way as we can, which is all that I do. I'm just trying to warn as many people as possible. If it does go on, I'll keep making videos and stuff, but like I say, more stuff's happening, more channels are coming down. I'm grateful every day that mine's up. I don't get notifications anymore after the past 2 videos. They're not sending me notifications, so when you guys write in, I don't know. I have to go back into the video and look. And ever since they took YouTube down that one time, and I think they messed with it again another time, more channels have come down and there's more funky stuff going on. And it's only a matter of time. They're going to go after that first. Any sort of knowledge that's going to help people, lead them to Jesus. After it happens, answer questions like, what about the aliens, stuff like that. They're going to want to go after it, So it's hard to say. That's why I'm always like, record everything you possibly can if you think it's going to help. Because you might wake up one day and my channel could be down, And of course, you guys know my name, Jared Beeler. If there's an important message, I'll try to get it out. I'll even start the Unleashing channel too, or something, But I don't know if there's time for that. All I know is that the hour is getting close. We feel it every single day getting close. And this is what we've been waiting for the whole time, to get out of here, to step into our destiny, what we're supposed to be. And it'll be legendary. And you'll never want to come back to this again. This hardship's almost over. For us that know Jesus, this is the worst that will ever be, all right? And for those that aren't saved and go to the other place, this is the best they'll ever have it. And it's truly terrible. But like I say, everybody gets that choice. None of us, depending on our families or where we're at, it has anything to do with it. Everybody starts at a place, and it's up to you to make it from that place. And it's not equal. Like I say, if somebody has come from a harder place and they do the same amount of whatever that I've done or something like that in life, it's not equal. They've technically done more because they came from a harder place. Everybody's on their own path. And the path cannot be autopilot ever. The second you kick your feet up, the path will change and you'll be off it. You have to be vigilant the whole time. It's always a fight your entire life as a Christian. You're always watching, slipping up. Where one time a Christian's learning, no violence. And that's the right answer for that. Whereas another Christian, the answer is absolute violence. You need to defend that person right now, and that's what you were made for, right? You're a Samson situation, okay? Everybody is on their path, all right? And you have to figure out what that is and always walk it, but you never get to kick your feet up, and you have to be vigilant, because the second you lower your guard, you will find yourself off the path and you will slip up, And I don't say a lot of this stuff just because you guys need to hear it. I say it for people that might need to hear it or hear it later after we're gone, because I never know how this is going to go down. And if there's a chance that somebody can hear this kind of stuff after I'm gone, or the rapture happens, or the channel's still up, I gotta put it out there. So that's why I do this. I'm trying to talk from every angle that I can, and that's why I do this kind of stuff, even though you guys know a lot of this already. But still paying attention. There isn't much news on the front other than they're looking for the midterm elections, and this peace plan is supposed to come out on Friday. But I'm paying attention to everything and watching it all, and we'll see what happens. But the hour's getting close, and it really feels like time's almost up. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we're looking for, right? Just wanted to get a little short video out here, get a few thoughts off my mind, and try and put this video out tonight if I can, if not in the morning. But I'll catch you guys next time on Unleashing. God bless. Bye.